to tell you about the most recent efforts, and speaking for the International Concerned Family and Friends of Mumia Abu-Jamal and the New York Free Mumia Abu-Jamal Commission, a committee, and the Albany Political Prisoner Support Committee, and the Albany Social Justice Center, as well as the Committee to Defend Civil War Victims of Racist Oppression, I'm joking on that, is our wonderful Naomi Jaffe. Please give her a warm welcome.
This conference, and in particular this program and some of the workshops, are really a historic opportunity for us to link in theory and in practice the wars of aggression abroad with the wars at home against communities of color and against spokespeople for resistance. Those two wars, the wars abroad and the wars at home, are two sides of the same coin, the coin of imposing this death-dealing culture of capitalism and imperialism by force around the world and also at home. The prongs of that war at home are mass incarceration against poor people and people of color, and also targeted incarceration against leaders of resistance and opposition to the imposition of this death-dealing culture. Mumia Abu-Jamal and Lynne Stewart have been particularly targeted, both as leaders of resistance and also because they are two leading people that make these links, that have spoken out to make the links among our movements, to strengthen our movements by showing the interconnections and by showing the common enemies. So there will be, particularly at times of strength of our movements, there are a lot of attempts to split our movements. And two things that I've been asked to say by Pam Africa of International Concerned Family and Friends and Suzanne Ross of the New York Coalition to Free Mumia Abu-Jamal have to do with particular campaigns in support of Mumia Abu-Jamal, who, as Jeff just told you, is in great danger of facing death on death row in Pennsylvania. An attempt by some forces in the anti-death penalty movement in this country to make an exception for Mumia. You will find some information about that at our table at the corner here about Mumia. Abolition of the death penalty means 100% abolition, not abolition for some people, but abolition for everybody. The support forces for Mumia are calling for, at the time of, there are worldwide actions in support of abolition on October 10th, and the forces from Mumia Abu-Jamal are calling for those anti-death penalty demonstrations to be for 100% abolition of the death penalty, no exceptions, and we are calling for people to come to Philadelphia to support 100% abolition of the death penalty. The second major campaign in support of freedom for Mumia Abu-Jamal is a third phase of an ongoing campaign to demand a civil rights investigation, to demand that Attorney General Eric Holder and the U.S. Justice Department open a civil rights investigation into the ongoing, continuing, from the beginning, violations of Mumia's civil rights at every possible stage of his prosecution and continuing denial of his appeals. So we have petitions asking you to support. We have petitions asking Attorney General Holder to open that civil rights investigation. Sometimes people say this is not an exact match. There haven't been civil rights investigations that exactly do that. Our job as people supporting liberation is to make a path where there is no path. Mumia's liberation is the demand to open a civil rights investigation to Attorney General Holder is something that we can, if we support it, it can be a reality. So please support these two initiatives in support of Mumia. There are two tables in the corner out there that have the petitions and also the call for the support of 100% abolition of the death penalty. Thank you.